For going in his crate, we're just using the word crate, cue him in, and once he goes in and turns himself around, we're going to give him a treat. And if he stays there, you'll see I'm treating him a couple extra times. This is just encouraging him to stay and to not kind of run in and then panic, like run out of the crate when he thinks I'm going to move towards the crate. This is something I would practice with him outside of when you actually need to put him in the crate a little bit more, just so that he continues to get the practice that every time we ask him to go to the crate, he's, going to get shut and locked in. Other things I found with Sammy for crate is when I need to, if he is kind of not wanting to come towards me, he's kind of running the opposite direction. If I just sit down by the crate, he often is a lot more likely to come and actually get in his crate for me than if I'm standing there. I think the standing near the crate just feels like a lot more pressure for him. So sometimes just sitting down. For his nighttime crating and daytime, the other big thing I found for him is leaving the front flap of his cover open. So all the other sides are covered except for the front, and that seems to help him a lot. He still barks a little bit, but he quiets down faster and doesn't bark as much throughout the time he's crated. For drop it when playing, you can see here we're going to play tug. He wasn't very interested in playing any kind of fetch game with me. When I would throw a toy, he wouldn't even go for it. So we focused on playing more around tug because he seemed to enjoy that a lot. So I let him get it. When I'm ready to have him drop it, you're going to cue drop it, pause, give him a second to let go. When he lets go, mark yes and drop the treats. You'll see then when
good boy.
When we're ready to start playing again, that I'm going to work on a little bit impulse control, so he's not just coming right back for the toy like he just did there. So I'm going to ask him to sit. Once he sits, then I will mark yes and start moving the toy again, and he's allowed to go for it at that point. So we kind of make calming back down for a second, coming back to resting in that sit for a second. Then the reward is you get to continue playing. So the more you do that, the more that will just become natural habit, and you'll see him start to do that. You can do the same thing with fetch if he is playing that with you at home. Another thing to keep in mind with drop it is if you ask him to drop it and you leave that pause and he's not letting go, which you will see later here in the video, he doesn't let go, then what I'm going to do is throw the treats anyways. So I'm going to toss a couple treats. It's like a small, like 3 or 4 small pieces of treats on the floor so that he lets go of the toy to go get the food. This is helping him learn that when I tell him to drop it, he's going to get rewarded. And so he's practicing dropping the toy to get the food, dropping the toy to get the food. And the more you do that, then the more he'll start to actually drop it on his own when you cue drop it, and then you can reward him and kind of flip that script a little bit. So if you say it and he's not doing it, go ahead and throw those treats on the ground because it's encouraging him to let go of the thing to get the treats, which is the basis for drop it.
You want it back? What do we do? Sit. Yes! Get it, get it. Good job. Oh, you got it, Sammy. Good boy. Oh, you're so good, Sammy. So strong. So strong, Sammy. Drop it. Oh. Sammy, drop it. Yes, good boy. Bed.
For bed, we're going to cue him bed. Once he's on his bed, then we can start moving around. In this training session here, I'm practicing 2 things. One is a little bit more duration between reinforcement, as well as small distractions of me moving around, walking farther away, walking back and forth, opening cabinets, doors, messing with stuff on the table, going up the stairs, just small distractions. And then periodically you're going to come back and reward him and then continue on. You don't have to say stay or bed again after rewarding him because he has learned, right, that the reward is a good job, keep going. So it's not a we're done with the thing. So you can see I'm going to come back and reward him, and then I'm going to keep moving around, opening things, doing distracting things. So as you practice with him, you'll just space out the treats a little bit more and a little bit more until he doesn't need so many. But you can build in distractions by playing with him like this. So you're opening things, I'm running, you can jump, squatting down at his level, walking farther away, dropping items, anything that could happen right in real life that might entice him to get up. And then you're just periodically rewarding that. If he gets up and you did not release him from that, it's simply sending him right back. Tell him to go back to his bed and then continue on. Do not reward as soon as he goes back to the bed. That is a common mistake. And what will happen is you'll get stuck in a loop where he thinks he can get off the bed. You send him back, he gets a treat. He gets off the bed, you send him back, he gets a treat, and so on. So we want to make sure that when we send him back, we make him work for it a little bit before he gets that reinforcement, so that he doesn't learn that loop that we don't want. We want that stay to be a part of it. So if you try something like the first time I tried doing the stairs with him, he got up. He thought I was leaving, I'm leaving the room, I'm going upstairs. And so he would try to leave the bed. So we just broke that down into smaller steps. I stepped up one stair, came back rewarded, went up 2 stairs, came back rewarded. If he got up, I sent him right back to his bed and then did the same step again until he could handle it, me going all the way up the stairs. So you just want to keep practicing like this in formal training sessions so that you're building those distractions and the duration between treats. The other way that I practiced with Sammy was in the kitchen, and he caught on really fast to this. So if you just have a bed that you can leave in there ideally, or that's easy to move in there when you need it. If every time you go into the kitchen, to whether you want to do it while you're cooking or if you want to do like around the table when you guys are eating, you toss a treat onto the bed, Sammy knows that when I'm in the kitchen, going to his bed is a good choice and that he will be rewarded. I use string cheese in the kitchen. It's high value and it's something I don't mind touching, and then also touching my own food. So with place in the kitchen, we're kind of doing the same thing. I'm just periodically rewarding him as he stays there. If he gets up, you send him back and continue on. And he's able to stay on his bed throughout dinner and throughout my cooking with minimal getting up. Sometimes I have a hard time getting him up from his bed because he's like, no, I think I'll stay here because I get this yummy cheese. So what I would do is I just get a cheese stick out of the freezer or out of the fridge when I am ready, and I bring it to the counter where I'm cooking or to the table, and then periodically I'm just tearing pieces off and rewarding him. If you do this consistently, though, you will see that he understands that. And just like what he's doing here for me is anytime I walk into the kitchen, he immediately goes and sits on his bed just in case I might reward him. So you'll get a dog that starts doing these things automatically. So with this one, it's just keep it up. Make sure you're not rewarding when you send him back if he got up without being released properly. And then reward frequently, and then slowly wean those treats farther and farther duration between until you just don't need any.
Free.
And of course, make sure to use that release word when you're ready to let him up so he knows he's allowed to.
Sammy.
Every time you're going to take Sammy out to potty, you're going to cue him during the bell. Once he rings the bell, you can mark yes, and then you're going to open the door and take him out. Over time, he'll start to recognize the pattern, and he will begin to ring the bell on his own to ask to go outside. One thing that I think is important to note when you're recalling Sammy is that right now, while he's still learning, we want to make sure we're not trying to call him at the hardest point. So for him, when he is just started sniffing, he's just getting into something, that for him is the hardest. So you want to start practicing when he's kind of on the tail end of it. He's almost finished sniffing. Sammy, come! Yes! Get those rewards in for him, and then let him go back to sniffing or doing whatever he was doing, as long as we're talking safety here. So from a training standpoint, you're trying to find the easiest points to practice calling him first. Let him be really successful, learn and understand the recall word, and then build up to the hardest points. So he just started to sniff, so I'm not going to call him. I'm going to wait a little bit until I can tell he's kind of almost done. Sammy, come! Yes! And then reward him. That way we're getting in a lot of really successful repetitions with him. so that he understands it, he feels successful. And then we're going to slowly work up to calling him more and more in those harder times when he's really kind of engrossed in a sniff or distracted by something like a squirrel. We got to start at those easy points first. And then another big thing for a dog like Sammy, who really loves his free time kind of to explore and sniff, is making sure we don't always call him when we're going to end things. If we're going to call him and leash him up or call him, make him come inside, we're not going to get very far with it, and we're not going to be very successful. So you want to practice like I am here, where sometimes we call him, we reward him, and then we let him go right back. We want him to know that sometimes we just need him to check in with us, and then he can go back to doing whatever it is. And sometimes we are going to end the fun, but that's not every time. Dogs are really great at picking up patterns, and so if every time the fun ends, after you've called come, they are going to stop recalling for you. So the other big piece obviously is rewarding it, high value rewards, especially when we're talking about being outside in distracting areas. Right now we're in a new area that he's never been before, the small dog park here near us. Nobody else is here, so we're using this as an opportunity to practice his recall in this nice big area, also new with lots of good smells. Sammy, come. After we say it, we're going to pause a second, give him a chance to respond. Yes, yes, because Sammy, good boy, is not going to be that robotic dog. Sammy, good boy. There you go. That he's just going to turn necessarily on a dime as soon as you call him. So first thing you want to do is call, pause, and give him a chance to respond just like he did. Wasn't his best response because he wasn't really looking at me. He was kind of sniffing as he came. But we're going to take it because it's Sammy, and we got to start with those small wins first. If he didn't respond after that pause, then I'm going to go into something more exciting. Sammy, come. So we pause. He's not responding. Then we're going to try something exciting. Yes, good boy. Something to get his attention. If that's not working, we're going to stop. Because if we just keep calling, we are wasting our words, and he is learning he does not have to respond to that recall. So we're going to come closer, pause for a little bit, let him finish sniffing, wait for one of those easy points, and also start closer, and then try again. Sammy, come. Yes, good boy. Oh, Sammy. And sometimes this is how it's going to be, right? Again, we're practicing right now in a new location, so this is extra distracting than if we were just in the backyard. Yes, good boy. Nice job. And even though I didn't call him in that moment, he did turn back and check in with me and offer me some attention. There you go, buddy. I'm going to reward that because just him checking in a new location is really big for him, considering that when we were first trying to go outside and work on recall or work on walking, he was not offering us attention ever. So right now, while he's still young and learning, until we're getting it more often from him, we're going to reward every time he offers us attention. So we're going to let him sniff a little bit longer. And then I'm going to try calling him again. So other things to think about with recall is just kind of practicing it. You can practice this at home in the backyard. Good boy, Sammy. You're being so good, buddy. And then also using a long leash to practice in places like a park or even in your front yard. Sometimes the front yard's a good starting point because it's a little bit more distracting. The world is out there. It's not as exciting. It's a little bit more exciting in the backyard, but not as exciting as the park. So you can practice kind of on a long leash in the front yard and then build up to practicing at a park with a long leash, or if you happen to have a dog park that's empty often. This small dog park is often empty and there's no one here. So when there isn't anybody here, I like to use it as a way to practice. Obviously, I would not practice this while there are other dogs in here. So that's when that long line would come in handy. Sammy! Sammy, Sammy, come! Sammy! Yes! Yes, good boy! And then lastly, whether you're practicing in the backyard or on the long leash, you want to make sure that you're practicing in a way like I am here, where we call, we reward, and then we're going to let him go back to sniffing pretty much every time until we're ready to end the session, because I want him to know more often than not, I'm just needing you to check in with me and you can go back to sniffing. Otherwise, he will learn not to come because it means the fun is ending, the sniffing's ending, whatever. He is a really smart pup, and he does really enjoy training, but definitely the sniffing is a really important piece for him. And so whether it's recall or walks, we also want to make sure we're allowing him that time to do that thing that he enjoys so much. Sammy, come! Yes! Come on, Sammy! Oh, Sammy, yes! Good boy! That was so good. And that was big. He was watching. It's kind of hard to see, but over there are some dogs walking on the trail. And you chose to come to me. That was so good, buddy. You're going to get extra cookies for that one. Good job, buddy. All right, so I'm out on a walk with Sammy and just going to kind of show you what we've been working on. Yes! So the main thing we've been working on is focus and also rewarding good choices. So good choices are walking in a place that is, yes, appropriate, right? So he's either walking next to us or kind of in front of us, but still on a loose leash. Or the big one for Sammy is offering attention. Yes. So anytime he's walking the way I'm happy with, I'm going to mark yes and reward him. Yes. When I reward him, even though like he's in front of me a little bit walking, you can see I'm always going to reward him back at my side. Back over this way, Sammy. You're walking us into the road, man. I'm going to reward him at my side because I want him to know all the good stuff happens over here at my side. And that's going to help keep him there long term. If he is pulling because he wants to go sniff something, we're going to get his attention first. Sammy, touch. Sammy. You didn't do it. Yes, go sniff. We're going to call him back with a touch and then cue him to go sniff. I'm going to allow him to sniff as much as he wants if he's within length of the leash. If he is pulling me, I'm either going to cue him to come back to me for touch and then go sniff, or I'm going to just move him along and not allow him to. We do not want to allow him to drag us to go sniff things. Yes, good boy. Good job. And when he's done, we can keep going back to our rewarding good choices. Oops, if he starts to cross in front, I'm just going to grab the leash, pull it back, walk around him, and get him back to the side that I want him on. Yes. Sammy. What you distracted by, buddy? Come on. So we're going to walk back over this way. So the big things, yes, we're looking for are that. When he gives us attention, we want to make sure anytime he offers us that attention that we're rewarding it. That's so big for Sammy to be offering attention, considering that when we first started walking, I could not get his attention to save my life. So like here, I don't mind if he wants to sniff while we're walking. He's within length of the leash. He wasn't pulling. That's fine. If I don't want him to sniff it for whatever reason, or I'm ready to go and he's not done sniffing, I'm going to say, let's go, and start moving. Yes. Good boy, Sammy. And reward him for moving along with me right now. Because sniffing is so valuable to him, we want to make sure we counter that with a reinforcement for coming with us. Another thing that's really big for Sammy, yes, good boy, is keeping him interested and intrigued and playing with you throughout the walk. Because right now, he's still in that zone of, right, the exploring, the sniffing is the best part about being out here, and we're really trying to build that focus and attention. So one way I've been doing this is by tossing the treat and not just handing it to him all the time. So come on, Sammy, let's go. Yes. You just kind of toss it forward when you say yes. He gets to chase down the treat like it's a little bit of a toy. It makes it a fun game for him. Yes, good boy. Right, we toss it forward, he gets to chase it down. And it just helps him bring his attention back to you more often because, yes, he's having a lot of fun. And he knows that when he looks at me and offers me attention, a treat's going to get tossed. You got it, Sammy. Good boy, come on. So right now, yes, good boy, Sammy. This is kind of the big thing. Right now, he still needs a lot of reinforcement and a lot of treats for these walks. But I'm so proud of how he's doing and how much attention he's offering. Yes, good boy. Even in more distracting places, which you'll see in the following videos of us at the park and working on distractions, new places. Yes, good boy. Versus a neighborhood walk, which is a lot easier. Sammy, bud. Right here. There you go. Good job, buddy. So again, with the rewarding good choices, just kind of reiterate that, yes, it's marking and rewarding him for walking the way we want him to. And right now, I'm rewarding 100% of good choices. Sammy still needs that heavy reinforcement right now. But then as he gets better, you're going to move to 75% of the good choices, 50, 25, and so on until you can wean off of him needing so much rewarding. But so again, those good choices that you can reward are walking right next to you, walking slightly in front, but still having that loose leash like he is right now. Yes. Or the big one for him is offering us any kind of attention. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Nice job. We want to make sure we're really reinforcing attention and focus. And let's see if we can find something else for him to sniff so we can kind of demonstrate that one more time. Sammy, touch. Whoop. Oh, we got a car coming. Sammy, over. Sit. Sammy. Oh, Sammy. Yes, good boy. Sit. Oop. Nope, we're not going to pull. Not going to pull for sniffs. Yes, good boy. Thank you. So since he is trying to pull over there, I'm going to see if I can get him to kind of do it with me. If he won't come back to me, then I will just move him along and I won't let him go get to sniff. So touch. He knows if he wants to go check that thing out. Yes, go sniff. That he has to check in with me. And if he doesn't check in with me, then he's not going to be allowed to go and sniff that thing. So if he wouldn't come back and do that touch with you, then I'll pause, try again, try to give him some benefit of the doubt while he's still learning. But then at some point, I'm just going to say, oh, okay, fine. We're going to move on and we're not going to go sniff that thing. And again, when we're done, we're ready to move on and he hasn't moved on yet. Let's go. We're going to cue. We're going to start moving. Yes, good boy. When he starts walking with us, we can mark yes and reward by either handing him the treat. Whoop. So he wants to go sniff those bushes. Touch. No, you're cheating, Sammy. Sammy, touch. Yes, go sniff. Good boy. So you can see he knows the drill now. He knows he needs to check in with me before he goes and does that. He's getting a lot better at it. And using this cue of go sniff as kind of a reward as well, it helps let him know, like, we're not going to stop him from doing all the sniffing. He's going to get opportunities, which makes it a lot easier to move him along when you're ready. Let's go. So you're just going to start walking. Yes, good boy. Get it. Right here, buddy. Right there. There you go. There we go. So you can see how much easier he moves along now from a sniff as well. He's not digging heels in. Yes, good boy. And he is moving along with me away from those sniffs. And then again, if he's within length of the leash, right, the leash is still loose here, I'm going to let him do the sniffing he wants. It's important for dogs to get those opportunities to sniff. It is good for them. It's good for their mental, physical health. It lowers heart rates. And obviously it's something Sammy really, really enjoys. So I don't want to take that away from him. But obviously we also need him to walk and move along. So let's go. Yes, good boy. Nice job, Sammy. So this is what Sammy's been working on. He's made huge improvements. The fact that we can actually get focused and he's willing to work with me on the walks is so huge. Yes, good boy. And he's become super pleasant in general to take a walk with. Just be prepared with those treats and always have more than you think you'll need, because it's better to have extra when you get home, yes, than to run out. So that's it on the walking. You'll see these next videos of us doing the same kinds of things at the park and around some dogs and more distractions. Yes, good boy, Sammy. Good boy. Let's go. Yes, good boy. Yes. So the big thing I'm doing here is rewarding him. Yes, when he offers me attention. We're in a new place, a new distracting place. And we're actually passing the dog park. There's a dog right there. He's not even paying attention. Yes. And then I'm tossing these treats as a way to keep him interested in playing with me. There we go. Yes. Good boy. Right, he saw the dog. We're going to mark and reward for that. Engage, disengage. Yes. And then I'm going to toss these treats forward to keep him moving along. Yes! Good boy. Sammy, touch. Oop. Sammy, touch. Yes, go sniff. And then I just kind of point to where he can go check it out, and then you can go sniff. Sammy, touch. Yes, go sniff. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Yes. 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 Good boy. Yes. Good job. Good job.